Welcome to our graphing polynomial functions using online tools. Um, this video is going to introduce you to two tools which should be readily available on phones, tablets, laptop computers. Not an easy task, let me tell you. And we're going to look at both of these tools because you'll kind of pick and choose which one you like best. They each have their own strengths. The first tool is MetaCalculator. So I've typed in to the MetaCalculator a quadratic function. So x to the power of 2. Notice I use shift 6 or the caret to make that power sign. Minus x minus 3.5. And what it's done is it's plotted out every possible point for that function and drawn a line between all those points. So just like in our previous video, we want to identify certain characteristics of these graphs. So if I go to the table, so I want to make a table of this function, I can see that when x equals 0, y equals minus 3.5. And this is really important because this, when x is 0 and y is minus 3.5, that is my y-intercept. So, and if you're not seeing this on your thing, you could also change this point where you say start x at 0, and then you get it right there. So let's just kind of go back to the equation. What that means is that right here, you'll notice that it's really hard to like hover your, oh, got it, to hover your mouse over in this program. And this is not the idea. We want to be using the tools to get the exact values. So when x is 0, y is minus 3.5. So that's giving us our y-intercept. We're going to want to get our x-intercept, which again, you can kind of hover maybe, I don't know, I can't seem to manage to get it exactly there. So one way to get x-intercept on this tool is to go to intersection. So with intersection, whoops, I have to add my second. So I'm going to draw a line where y equals 0. So this blue line that's gone across is y equals 0. And now I can intersect those two lines, and it will tell me that I have one point at negative 1.4365, comma 0, and another at positive 2.4365, comma 0. So those are my x-intercepts. We looked at y-intercept. One thing we need to know is down here, this vertex. And to be honest, this program is not ideal because it doesn't really want to tell us what the vertex is. And we're really just taking a guess as to like where it might be. You know, like you can kind of zero in and get an idea, but you can't actually get the real true value for it. There's two other things we want graphing tools to be able to do. So number one, given an x value, what is the y value? So for example here, if I know that x is 2, what is y? I'm trying to like hover and it's really hard. I'll go back to the table and I will tell it that x is going to be 2. So when x is 2, y is minus 1.5. Now, if you have a number that is a decimal number, so let's say you needed 2.25, make sure that you're in intervals of 0.25, and then you can actually see your true y value. So then it'll increase your table by 0.25. So if you need decimals, just tell it that. So that's if you know x and you want y. If it's the other way around, where you know the y value, so let's say you know y is 3, and you're trying to figure out what this point is, like exactly, like 3.000, not 3 point anything else. We could go and plot a blue line across at 3, and we're going to find this intersection of these two lines. So it's going to be a perfect um, a perfect point. So right there we can see 3.0981 is the x value when y is exactly 3. So those are sort of your main features that you want to be able to calculate using the online tools. MetaCalculator is great because of the intersection. It allows us to find an x value when we know a y value. With Desmos, and I believe Desmos is also an app, I've graphed the same tool. When you graph your function, sorry, I've graphed the function already, it actually automatically comes up with the roots or the intercepts. And so you can just hover over it to see what those values are. That's really nice. It also automatically shows you the vertex. So that's the one thing that MetaCalculator does not do, is allow you to really zero in on that vertex, whereas this one does. What this does not do is does not allow you to find a value for x given y. So if we go to edit list and we go to table, I can go in and I can say, oh, I want the value for, if it's 2 or 2.25, it'll tell me the value for y in the table. So given x, I can find y, but it doesn't allow me to enter in a value for y or find an intersection. So between these two tools, we're going to basically jump back and forth between them. I think each one of you will find the tool that you like the most and that you'll stick the most with, but make sure that you also are using the other tool when the questions sort of arise.